everyone. It's a beautiful Sunday and I know every one of you are doing very beautiful. So today I want to make a video on the topic understanding. Understanding is something that we say every day. It's something that we talk about ourselves. It's something that we tell other people, amongst family, amongst friends. It's something that is missing in the society. It's something that is missing on Facebook, on Twitter, on social media. And we bring these things to real life also, and it kind of distracts us, distracts our relationships, distracts our families, distracts our work, and it puts a lot of disorder in the things that we do. Lack of understanding. So many people have tried to talk about understanding. In fact, so many people have spoken about it and they've spoken greatly about it. I cannot say that I've read all the things that people on earth have to say about understanding, but today, from my own personal experiences, from my own personal observation, from my own personal thought, I want to tell us what understanding is and how we can overcome the disorder and how we can avoid misunderstanding. Please hold on a little bit with me while I explain this concept to you. This is what I feel they can help us to understand each other. This is something that we fail to do most of the time because it is not actually a conscious thing to do. But if we can learn to start doing this thing consciously, if we can deliberately start doing it, then we can be able to understand each other. We can be able to give people the benefit of that, and we can be able to decrease the risk of misunderstandings, the risk of broken relationships, the risk of the ruptures that go on amongst human beings. So let me ask you something. When you do something and you want someone else to feel that this is what you're talking about, you are desperate about that, right? You are desperately wanting them to understand you. It is this desperation that causes anger that makes us to get emotional when people do not give us the chance to explain ourselves, to be understood, to tolerate the way that we feel, to understand the way that we feel. I'll tell you why we are human beings and why there are a lot of misunderstandings. You've been in a situation where you want to be understood, you've been desperate, that's caused you anger, you've insulted people because of it, you've had exchange of words, and there've been a lot of bruises and all those kind of things. Now, when you are in the same shoes where you are supposed to understand somebody, you forget the pain and the desperation that you felt where you wanted to be understood. You forget how much that you wanted to be listened to, that you wanted to be validated, that you wanted to feel that I am being understood. Sometimes people write stuff on Facebook or on social media or other places, and when someone misunderstands it and comes along and begin to say something opposite, something we call OP, off point, you see, the people who wrote the post, perhaps it's a sarcastic post, and someone just comes along and takes it so seriously and begins to say a lot of things. The person who made the post automatically feels this anger or this irritation or this disgust or something like that. And sometimes we do not really have the capacity or the chance to be able to manage it well, to say, hey, I was joking, or I was being sarcastic, or hey, this is not what I meant. Sometimes we just so carried away because of the anger, because of that desperation of wanting to be understood that comes from within. We cannot really call it desperation because for you, you are not being desperate. So what about when someone else makes a post and you do not understand it, and then you go there and write something, they come along and they say, are you mad? This is not what I'm talking about. Did you even go to school? And this and that. I have fallen victim of this several times. The problem that we have among ourselves, the problem that we human beings have, and that is why we are humans, and that is why we have to consciously work on understanding each other. We forget so easily what it means to want to be understood. We forget so easily that as much as we want to be understood, other people want to be understood. We forget so easily to put ourselves in the shoes of other people. Things will get a lot better. There will be a lot of understanding in families, in all kinds of relationships, in classes, in school. If only we can say, okay, fine, this is what I'm talking about, you're seeing it the wrong way, and this and that. People can come to a consensus, people can understand each other, people can see the value in each other. But when you get very angry because you're not being understood, and then when someone else is not being understood, you also get angry, it becomes a really serious problem. You want to be validated, but you are not making any effort to validate other people. You are not making any effort to give other people a chance. That is the cause of misunderstanding. That is it. The fact that we human beings are not able to put other people in our shoes. The fact that you are forgetting so easily, so quickly, how desperate you want to be understood. If we can apply this little tactic to our day-to-day life, things will be a lot better. Just this little tactic. Put them in your shoes. Remember how desperately you wanted to be understood. Remember how annoying it can be not to be understood. How sometimes irritated you get when people go off your points. Remember all of those things and try as much as possible consciously to give people that validation that you also consciously or unconsciously search for when you are trying to explain yourself, or when you are not even trying to explain yourself, but you expect that someone or somebody should quickly understand or feel from your heart the place that you are coming from. Sometimes it's not that easy to understand people, to know exactly where they are coming from. So when people misunderstand you, it's always very important to put them in your shoes. Because personally, I'll also put this in practice. And if you can put it in practice, then we can be able to fix a lot of broken things that are existing in our society, from real life to social media and to every other aspect of our lives. Thank you guys for listening, and have a beautiful week ahead.